Okay, folks, I'm going to show you quickly how to do the cell coloring page so that you can get the general idea. When you're done, these are going to go in your lab journal. I'll show you that at the end. So the idea with these coloring pages, and this one's partly done already, is it doesn't matter what colors you use. What matters is that the words match the part on the coloring page. So for example, when I started this one last year, I picked green for the cell membrane, and that's represented by the letter A. And then when I, on the cell, find the letter A, which of course now I can't find it, but it's this green cell membrane right here that it's, oh, there's the letter A, that it's pointing to, so then I color that green. The cell wall, which is letter B, you can see B here, I colored it blue, and then on from there. So I'll do another one. We can do the mitochondrion, which is just plural for mitochondria. And I'll do that right now just so you get the idea. I'm going to pick this turquoise color. I'll color the lettering in for mitochondria to act as my key or my legend. And you can follow along with this if you want, if the sub's already given out the colored pencils, or if you're following along at home. Mitochondrion is letter L. So I'm going to look for the letters. Here's a letter L. Oh, that's off the screen down there, letter L. I didn't realize that it was off. Okay, and so then L is pointing to this structure here that looks like a mitochondria. I'll color it turquoise, and then I look for the other structures in my cell that look just like that. And that's my those are my mitochondria, and I would keep going until I have all the mitochondria colored in. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that some of the structures, instead of having a letter next to them, have a star, like the nucleus and the plastids. What that means is the nucleus itself doesn't need to be colored because you're going to color the parts of the nucleus. So I did my nuclear envelope in red and my nuclear pores in pink when I did this before, and then that means, oh, and then the ribosomes are on top. So I colored those in brown, but then what that means is the nucleus is already all the way colored, so I don't need another color for the word nucleus. And then plastids are the same. There are some things that fit into the category of plastids, and I would color those things. I don't need another color for the word plastid. Okay, and that's about it for the coloring page. You'll do exactly the same thing with the animal cell. Again, it does not matter what color each of the structures are. It matters if their letters match that structure. The words match the structure. So you're linking up the vocabulary term with the structure. Okay, then the other thing you have is you have another half sheet that says activity cell coloring pages, I think is what it says. I set it over on the other side of the counter. I'm not going to run grab it. And it has some questions for you to answer. Where you get the answers to those questions is on the back side of your coloring pages. So the back side of the plant cell has a couple paragraphs. Read through this. It does give you some directions on how to color, but honestly, you don't really need to. It's more complicated to worry about that, but you can if you want to. But it's more about reading the non-bold paragraphs that talk about what those different parts are, and then answering the questions. There is 3 questions for plant cell, and then 3 questions for animal cell that will come out of this information on the back side here. Once you've got it all done and you're ready to put your coloring pages into your lab journal, although we'll work on this some more on Monday, basically your table of contents at this point, we did the notes, cell theory and organelles. Then yesterday, the subs should have had you work on the practice cells. That would go on page 26. And then today, you are doing the activity cell coloring pages. And those will go on page 27. And then when I flip to page 27, and I'll post this video on Canvas as well, so if you want to see the table of contents, you can always replay the video or pause it if you're following from home. So then I would go to page 27 in my lab journal, if yours is the same as mine. I'm going to fold my coloring pages, both the plant one and the animal one, in half, hamburger style. Put a piece of tape there so that you can open each coloring page, and then you could tape down the questions because there's no backside. You could tape them down flat on this page. If that'll drive you crazy, you could put one thing on each page if you'd like. But that's how I'm going to do it in my lab journal. Okay, hopefully that was helpful and gave you some idea of how you're supposed to accomplish this self-coloring page.